Welcome back to Bust Picks, episode 72?
73.
73. I think I messed up on the numbers.
It's okay. It's okay.
It doesn't matter. Welcome back. Don, I was going to have a whole list of stuff for us to talk about today.
Sure.
And then the most important thing in our generation happened. Taylor Swift got engaged to Travis Kelce.
Oh,
and
goodness.
now I think we should dedicate, 3 hours to it?
You and I have I know this is a bit for you, but even then, it's so hard for me to get on board.
There was no part of you that was like, I'm happy love is alive. I'm happy that, people are still, enjoying life. These young lovebird superstars, game changers, they are moving forward in the world together.
I really don't care.
I hear you.
On a baseball, it's like if they're happy, that's great. I do not want to take away from happiness. If they are happy and they're a great, sure. In my stance, I have no interest in knowing about their personal lives.
Now, how would you feel if your fantasy football app gave you an update and told you that they were engaged?
This was crazy.
And the last message you had gotten from that app prior was a player being injured and out for the year. That's the type of news you were getting from this app. And then the next thing was...
I mean, we could say what the app is. ESPN is a joke right now.
I don't... The mouse is kind of... He's a scary guy. I don't ever want to be on his,
It's fine.
On his hit list. But, I do think... I do think that's insane. The second I opened it up and I was like, oh, Taylor Swift and they got married. Why did I get this update from...
Fantasy football. Yeah.
I'm on Twitter a lot, and I don't know. It was crazy.
The fact that it took hours for them to break the news about Scary Terry getting a contract extension.
Oh yeah, it was stark difference. It was awesome.
It's who is this for? Because I guarantee you, the entire user base, majority of the user base for the ESPN fantasy football app, probably does not care. That is probably
it did affect his ADP.
I would say 80% of those notifications were not clicked on.
So there is a little bit of sports thing that I would like to take on this.
Sure.
Before we get into fact of the day and the rest of the show. I do think conspiracy hat on. It's fully locked in. Travis Kelce, I think Taylor Swift is going to be announced in the next few weeks that she is the Super Bowl halftime performer.
Yeah, makes
she's
sense.
about to release an album. She's about to get married, and her boyfriend is one of the greatest at his position of all time, inarguably top 3. Yeah, he's top 3.
I would say top 5.
He's 100% top 3.
Yeah, I want to see. I haven't looked at the breakdown, but
he has more 1,000-yard receiving seasons than any tight end in NFL history.
Okay.
To me, I think he's number 2. I think it's Tony Gonzalez, him, and then Rob Gronkowski. That's the way it is to me. Anyway,
okay.
I think this last season, I think he's gonna. You've said it a couple times. You don't believe in Travis Kelce's skill anymore.
I think the mind is there. I just don't think the body can do it anymore. To the same level in any way.
I agree. I don't think he's as dynamic as he used to be, but I think that 650 mark and 6 to 5 TDs. I think we're kind of similar.
I'm a little lower on yards, but around that ballpark.
I think that's what he's going to be. I think he's going to be like a 62 catch kind of guy. I think he's going to have a ton of catches, but no yards.
Yeah, and that's what we saw last season was he was just kind of catch and fall down. He couldn't really get going anymore.
And I think this is going to be the last season they're going to get the retirement. I do think they're going to win the Super Bowl, and then that's going to be all of it, and he's going to retire, and his girlfriend's going to perform at the halftime show, and they're going to get married and have a bunch of athlete babies, and everything's going to be awesome for the white people. They're going to have a great time together.
You and I have very different opinions what this season's going to be, but that's part of the fun.
You legally have to believe that the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm not even going to that extent. I'm just more on the idea that I don't think the Chiefs are...
You don't think they're good?
I do think they're good. I don't know if this is going to be the Rose Hinnick glasses kind of year that... We've
done this show for 72 episodes.
Yeah.
And in all 72, you have said that the Chiefs aren't that good, and they've won 2 Super Bowls in your face.
They've won, not over 72 episodes, but they have... Well, they lost last year. They got embarrassed.
Yeah, they've been to 3.
Yeah, they've been to 3. Yeah, and I would rather bet that they're having aging stars. They're relying on their number 1 receiver who's going to be suspended for a hit and run where he literally ran.
Yeah, 4 games.
Nah, he's looking...
He's gonna play 4 games.
He's going to play 4 games.
Yeah, dude. That suspension is also crazy. No one talks about that. I've never seen someone get suspended like the second half. They're just like, that
feels.
You'll take it on the end after the hard.
Are we still conspiracy theory hat on?
Still on?
Like, that is so set up by the NFL. It's ridiculous. I've never seen it. Like, hey, we're going to wait until after your hardest part of the season to then issue a suspension
on your number one wide
receiver. That is crazy.
I do love it. It's hilarious.
They tried to go after him sooner, and the NFL Players Association and the Chiefs had to write basically stopping the court proceedings in order to push it back, and the NFL went sure. That is insane to me.
The Chiefs get. It took me a long time to realize this. Your hate for the Kansas City Chiefs is just the hate that I have for the New England Patriots. It's just different.
Yeah.
Where Kansas City was annoying and you only get to see the evil in them because they play against your team and stuff your team a lot. That's what the Patriots did to the Colts a lot. They every time we met the Patriots, we'd get stuffed, and I hated them. They cheated, and they broke the rules, and they would do all this bad stuff, but everyone was like, they're the Patriots. Yeah, let's go.
And that's my thing, is I'd rather just equal enforcement, which I know we'll never get, not under Roger Goodell. That'll just never happen, but that's my stance on both the teams, is you guys have great players. You guys have all-time Hall of Fame head coaches. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
It's... You guys
special treatment around
the special treatment is why you're a leg up over everybody.
Yeah, I think there are a couple teams in the league that get that special treatment.
Yeah, there are
a handful of them.
Yeah, there are a few, and it changes a little bit. But
yeah, I think if you show I think the Lions are going to get a little special treatment this year.
Probably, and that rubs me the wrong way in a competitive sport.
I hear you, Don. What's the fact of the day?
Fact of the day for a team that does not get any special treatment whatsoever: Cleveland Browns.
Oh, you love this team.
So a lot of hype is coming on the Browns right now because they have gone undefeated in the preseason. One of the only 4 teams to do so.
The last time they went undefeated, Don, what happened?
2017, they lost every single game of the regular season.
That's right.
But so I went through their back to 2007 of all their seasons where they've had winning preseasons. And would you believe that 2007 was the last time that they had a winning preseason and a winning regular season?
So it's in the metrics. It is mathematically possible.
It is mathematically possible, but for almost 2 decades, they have not. So 2013, 2019, and 2021, they were 3-1 in preseason. One of the few teams that always play 4 games, weirdly. In the regular season, they went 4-12, 6-10, 8-9. In 2018, they went 2-2. And then they went 7-8-1 in that season. 2010, they went 2-2. They went 5-11. 2009, they went 2-2 and went 5-11. Like, literally, they went 3-1 and went 10-6 in 2007. That was the last time we had preseason leading to successful regular season.
You showed up with a fact of the day just to tell me that the Browns are bad?
Not just the Browns are bad. I feel like this is an omen for this team that things are going to be worse than normal. Out of the 7 years that they've had winning records in the preseason, they've gone under on their win totals 5 out of the 7.
Let's go to court real fast.
Sure.
You're on the stand. You can only tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
Did you or did you not bet the Cleveland Browns over-under this year?
Not yet. I will this weekend.
What are you taking?
I'm taking the under.
Under 2.5, right?
Their win total's at 4.5.
Okay, and you're taking a heavy under.
I am betting on 0 wins, and I am betting on 1 win heavily.
Yeah, and that's Don's fact of the day, everyone.
I'm just saying the metrics support it, and it is crazy how accurate it is.
Let's just keep the tinfoil hats are on today.
I love it.
We're going to talk about college football because college football officially started last weekend. Week 1 is this weekend.
Week 0 is the weirdest thing, right?
Yeah, we could touch on it real fast. We had 5 games last weekend. Both of our picks of the week lost. Both of them in hilarious fashion. Mine was a last second. He fell at the 1-yard line, and then the game just ended.
Yeah.
And no over. Yours was Hawaii decided to be the really good, and Stanford's just as bad as I said they were.
I didn't think that. Yeah, but I think Hawaii also has the craziest circumstance of a Japanese kicker teaching himself how to kick on YouTube, then comes out and hits the game winner.
I mean, that's what was going to happen.
That's just
Their
fun bad
quarterback
beats.
is 5'10", a true freshman, couldn't walk on one leg, and still drove down the field twice to beat Stanford.
Yeah, and I did not expect that out of a Frank Reich defense.
Frank Reich he was always an offensive guy.
Yeah.
And that was not good either. This team
was
always
rough.
Gonna be bad. Yeah. But let's get into some college football breakdowns. We're going to talk about 5 topics, things that we want to touch on before the season starts. Don't worry, we're going to talk about some of the biggest games later on in the episode.
Let's do it.
But right now we're going to talk about our pick for the Heisman Trophy. There's a lot of people going out there. This is one of those years where there's a couple front runners. There's a couple big money names in the back like Lenore Sellers, Julian Love, the running back for Notre Dame. Don, who's a guy that you went after?
For me, I'm taking one of those big money guys. I'm liking Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver out of Ohio.
Jeremiah Smith.
He's
Truth.
There's a lot of quarterback competition, I feel, this year between like Arch Manning, Cade Kubiak, Sawyer Robinson.
Klubnik.
Good name. It is a good name.
Cade Klubnik?
Klubnik that's a football name.
Oh, yeah.
That's a football name, but from the Midwest specifically. Yeah, Clemson could work for that. Clemson, that's a good Clemson name.
It's Clemson,
it's an SEC name.
ACC, but you're getting there.
No, I'm just saying, like, I want Klubnik in the SEC or in the Midwest. Like, Clemson kind of floats. I know.
How do you feel about Trevor Lawrence? Like, as a football player,
that just screams Tennessee for me.
He's got a lot of. Yeah, you're right. Trevor Lawrence feels Tennessee.
Yeah, that just feel like he should have been drafted to the Titans.
You nailed that. He went to the wrong team. They should do a trade.
They should.
Don, who's your Heisman pick? It was
Jeremiah Smith. He's a dominant wide receiver.
The best maybe ever.
Yeah, I think so. He had 76 catches for 1,300 yards, 15 TDs last season.
He was 17 and 18 during the season.
It was insane, and I think he's coming out of camp so far. What we've been able to see, he looks bigger. He has put on more muscle, and he is on a Ohio team that likes to throw the ball downfield. He can stretch the field in a great way, and his after the catch is great.
He's elite. He's. It's crazy to say that like Ohio State has the best like wide receiving core ever. I think it's still LSU in terms of top end talent.
Definitely.
But in terms of like overall talent, I think Ohio State is bananas, and Jeremiah Smith might be the best of them all. Better than Marvin Harrison, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson's, like all the entire list. He's incredible, and he's only 19 years old. Yeah,
this kid is going to be someone to watch out for when he gets to the league.
Oh yeah, it can't even be this year. It's got to be the year after that. So we still got another 2 years of him in college. It's going to be awesome. My pick is actually really boring. It's the favorite. It's Cade Klubnik. I took him, the Clemson quarterback, at plus 950. I took him there because I was looking at the schedule and I was like, hey, if Clemson can beat LSU on the game opener, they've got kind of a cakewalk. I don't believe in the ACC is strong. I think the Clemson team is really good, and I think he's a really good quarterback. This is his third year at Clemson. He's got experience. He's got a couple more weapons. He's got the coach for it. He's got an easy path where he can lose one game, and he just has to stay in the conversation in order for him to just accidentally get into the top 3. And when you're betting Heismans, that's all you're really trying to get.
Yeah, like it's either you're going very plus value or guys that pretty much guarantee a top 3 spot.
Lenore Sellers is kind of like my secret pick. I don't love South Carolina, but he's so electric that you're like, hey, what if this guy rattles off and only loses 3 games in the SEC? There's a chance they give it to him. Or DJ Lagway from Florida, the quarterback over there. There's chances all over all over college football that I'm like, probably gonna put a little darts.
No, yeah, you definitely sprinkle it.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the blue chips. This is for the teams that if we had to put our big bet on it, will be in the top 12 college football playoff at the end of the year. Looking across the entire board, it's easy to go with the front chip teams. That's what I want with this blue chip pick. Penn State is my pick. I think Penn State, even though they play in a really tough division, they're going to play Ohio State. They're going to play Michigan. They're going to play USC. Those are all 3 good teams. I think Penn State, no matter what, at the end of it, they have the best roster in college football. I think they walk away from the season with 1 or 2 losses at the most.
No, I think Penn State's a lock as well. I have them finishing in my top 4.
Oh, wow.
I think they
winning the Big Ten?
I mean, it comes down to championship game. Okay. That's not going to affect them going into the top 4, I feel, depending. But yeah, them, and I think Ohio has to be in that conversation. And
Ohio State. You got to give them some respect, Don.
We'll see.
The Ohio, they just won a national championship.
No, I know.
They
But
trademarked the word "the." They do. They own it. They own the word "the." No one else is allowed to use it. It's crazy.
For college football, it's like I love the nuances.
For college, period. No one's allowed to use it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is I love the nuances. Like similarly, like I think Oregon's the only one that's allowed to use the duck mascot.
They are
in D1 sports.
Yeah.
So like how strange and tribalistic it is. It was always so much fun.
Ohio State's so petty that they're like, if you come on our field and ever plant a flag in our stadium ever again that isn't an Ohio State flag, it's a felony now.
That doesn't feel enforceable.
It's like it was a whole thing this offseason.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't feel like they can actually. It doesn't feel like there's
a lot of grounds, right?
Yeah, like no, I want someone to test it.
Actually, let's get it done this week.
But no, the Ohio State, Penn State, I think are great 1-2s.
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I'm a little worried about Ohio State. I know they got Jeremiah Smith, but they got a redshirt freshman quarterback that's starting that I've never seen. I know he's a 5-star, but he's got to play Texas, and then he's got to play just dogs continuously. I'm not saying that Ohio State's going to be bad, but if I do think they lose to Penn State, if they can't beat Michigan again this year, if they slip up and lose that opening game against Texas, that's a 3-loss team. Is a 3-loss Ohio State team going to get into the playoffs?
They can flirt with it, I think, at that point, because Penn State still has a rough run of it.
They do.
Texas still has a rough run of it. Like there's some schools. Like I think
Alabama.
We're going to slide in with. I think we're going to see at least 2 3-loss teams in.
Really, you think that's a bold prediction? Because last year the committee was very hard pressed to be like 3 losses you're not getting in.
I think it's just there's a lot more. Like the schedules look a lot tougher this year to me visually.
I agree. Like the parity's there. There's going to be teams that are really good that have to lose 3 games.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's go into bust of the season. If we're going to pick a team that is so disappointing that's probably going to miss the playoffs, Don, what's your pick?
For me, I'm taking South Carolina to kind of fall off this season. I know they only have 3 losses.
Let me talk about Lenore Sellers like that?
Yeah. I don't think it's Lenore Sellers' fault too much. I think the big issue is on their defense. 6 of their 7 top tacklers, like leading the team in tackles, are no longer on the squad. They've gotten replaced. They also do have these, based on preseason rankings, the hardest schedule this season.
They have one of the most difficult schedules.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I think losing a lot of your defensive building blocks, and on top of that, you're playing LSU, Ole Miss, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Bama. Like, that's going to be a really tough experiment with your defense. I think Lenore Sellers will be fine.
Yeah.
The offense, I think, will still produce, but I think it's going to be a lot more shootout games, a lot more close games, and I don't know if South Carolina is ready for that.
I don't think they're going to be ready at all. My team is going to be Miami. Miami's a highly ranked team. I just talked about how I think Clemson's going to eat through the ACC. I don't like what Miami's doing. They went and got the Georgia quarterback. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Carson Beck, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I think it's Carson Beck. But I know what Miami is. They can have a good quarterback and still lose 3 games, 4 games. I think they're going to be disappointing again. They're just Miami. Another team I think is going to be disappointing. A lot of people have them sneaking in. Is Boise State. Mm-hmm. Boise State, while it does have a good roster and plays a very simple schedule where they can go undefeated or lose 1 game and get in that special spot, I do think they're going to lose 3 games. The Mountain West is a little tougher this year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be harder for them to get in. I think those are 2 teams that are favored to get into playoffs, aren't going to get in for me.
No, I can see that definitely.
Next team we're going to talk about is the wild card of the season, the team that we're expected to surprise people, not necessarily get into the playoff, but maybe come out and surprise the world, shock them with how good they might be. Mm-hmm. For me, I got 2 teams. I'll start with mine. I'll shoot it back to you. I got Nebraska as my team.
Cornhuskers, let's go.
I think Dylan Raiola, the quarterback there, Matt Rule, 3rd year of the head coaching position. I think he's a great college head coach. Mm-hmm. They have a favorable schedule, too. If they can come out and beat Cincinnati in that Kansas City Dome, they don't really have to play another team until they have to play Michigan.
Yeah.
they can rattle off maybe even a 2-loss game. They lose to Penn State, they lose to Michigan, or maybe even they beat Michigan and they, somehow split somewhere else. I do think this team can not only surprise a lot of people this year, but maybe even get in the playoffs. I know this is a popular opinion for the Cornhuskers, always hype themselves up to get to the playoffs. I don't think they're getting. I think they're going to be in that bubble.
Yeah,
that 14-15.
I think the Cincinnati game is a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Just for an opening week start, but I do think
neutral site game. It's a tougher one.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of setup for them, but I do think that with Rule there, they do have a good shot. For me, my big one, I'm taking Texas A&M. Last season, they dealt with a lot of injuries, and I think that's being discounted by a lot of people. I know they went 8-4, but they also from November, they entered November 7-1, top 10 with a shot at the SEC title. They dealt with a lot of quarterback instability down the stretch due to injury. They had a lot of late season losses due to just a lot of fall off on their key defensive players going down, wide receivers going down. I think with a fully healthy roster, them rattling off that 7-1 is repeatable. And if they're able to stay healthy, I can see them walking out with a 2-3 loss season, and right there you're on the bubble.
That 2 losses you can get in. 3 losses, I don't know yet.
No, but I'm saying if they fall in that's where I'm projecting is in that range. That's a bubble team.
And
I think it's a
Nebraska,
step up over that.
That's a huge step for them.
Yes,
because Texas A&M, the most disappointing team every year, where they get the number top 10 recruiting class. They're always supposed to have the best quarterback, and then they lose very, very quickly. I agree with you. I think the roster is going to be way better this year.
I think it's much improved. They have gotten a lot of big names out of the transfer portal this season.
They spend a lot of money.
And if they're just able to keep their quarterback upright, I think, because they do rotate once in a while, but I think that they're in a better position.
Texas Tech is my other team to watch out for. They spent more money in the transfer portal than anyone else. They spent $27 million pretty much renovating their team. That's that Texas oil money coming in. They want to be in that conversation with Texas A&M, with Texas, with Oklahoma being one of these top-tier schools. I think they're going to get into the playoffs, probably win the Big 12. And then another really, really low-key team. You want a plus 1,800 bet from me? Here's Tulane to go undefeated and get that slot that Boise State's supposed to get for the group of 6 now, I guess that's what it's called.
Yeah.
All the guys that aren't in the Power 4, they give one slot to those other guys. I think it's Tulane this year.
Sure.
So that's my lookout for that. Last thing we're going to talk about, Don, who's your national champion in college football this year? When you look at the odds, what's the team you're like, that's mine?
I hate that this is a pretty chalky pick, but
okay,
I do like Texas.
Football.
It is
Arch Manning,
huh?
Arch Manning coming to the Colts?
I think Arch Manning looks good. Last season, the highest. So coming into this season, a higher percentage of the AP poll. 16 out of the 28 picked Ohio State last season. Right now, it's 12 out of the 28 are picking Texas right now. And typically, high AP poll in the beginning of the season typically means a very good, strong late season. Arch Manning is a small sample size. We've only seen 95 passing plays out of him in his career so far.
I think that's enough to be this guy's going to be the number 1 overall pick for the Colts next year.
Yeah, I think, but it shows a high floor in my mind as well.
Yeah.
It's out of those 95, we can debate on what the ceiling is, but we've seen a very low.
We haven't seen enough to be this is who Archie Manning is.
Exactly, but we haven't seen any errors.
He's kind of like a fun mystery box right now.
He is, and I want that variability a little bit. 100%. I think that's a lot of fun.
You ever buy one of those toys from the toy store that comes in a box, and you're looking at the side, and you're like, one of these statues. I can't wait to get one of these statues.
The blind box pulls.
That's what Archie Manning is, and you're really hoping you get the shiny.
But I think at the same time, you're pulling a $20 box. You're not pulling a $5. Well, because it's guaranteed it's going to be good quality.
This is more of you bought this $150 box.
Sure.
And you haven't touched it in 3 years. And now you're like, all right, time to open this box. There's a real chance that you get really disappointed by what's in that box.
I mean, he could just be what his floor is, and that's slightly above average. But that's still a good producing quarterback for college that will still get him at least a backup role in the NFL, most likely, just on name brand alone.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, his floor is that.
Yeah.
We don't know. We could debate the ceiling. I think he's going to be pretty strong. But even just based on floor alone, Texas is already a competitive team. They have a well-built roster. If they can just get a game manager out of this, I think they're set up.
I think he'll be better than.
I think he's better than a game manager, but he doesn't make mistakes.
I think what we're going to be worried about, I think the passing game is going to be a little bit more worrisome.
Sure.
I think his athleticism and his ability to throw on different platforms is what's going to kind of carry him. But I do think at the end of the year, he's going to leave a flavor in people's mouth less than desirable. I think they're just going to be like, he's good, but they want him to be a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
than
like
that.
the fact that he's carrying the Manning name, I think is kind of to his detriment, because they're expecting him to come out like his family
100%.
And if he doesn't hit Peyton Manning immediately, people are going to brush him off.
But I think even if his name was like Arch Dart or Arch Smith, I think people would still be like, hey, this guy was so hyped up.
Yeah.
There's just a level of like, hey, we need this 5-star athlete that was clearly recruited by everyone in the country to kind of hit.
Yeah, and that's what you're hoping. And
there is a part of me in the back of my head that's like, we are betting on the one child of the one Manning that didn't make the NFL.
That's true.
Yeah. So a part of me is like, are we all just getting got right now? But I don't know.
We'll see.
My pick for national championship is Georgia football. SEC hasn't won a title in 2 years. You picked an SEC team. I took an SEC team. I think we both kind of lean towards the SEC's coming back. I took Georgia because they're plus 850 odds. Plus, Kirby Smart's still the best head coach in football. But if you're like, hey, I can't pick that chalky team, let me go a little bit deeper. I like Oregon. I like Oregon to do something. Dan Lanning has his own little team over there. They're plus 100 or plus 1,100. That's a great bet.
That feels like a good one.
You put $100, you win 1,100 back. It's Oregon. I know they've never won a national championship, but I can guarantee you they're in that second weekend of the playoff.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be there.
So that's our college rundown. We're going to get into a little bit more college football later, but right now we're going to get into Bust of the Week. Don, who is your Bust of the Week?
For me, I'm taking the entire Sanders situation in the NFL currently.
You took the Cleveland Browns again?
Kinda. Not really the Browns as an organization much as Shiloh getting cut off the Buccaneers after throwing punches on the field. This is more of a
Sanders thing.
This is more both of them combined. The idea that we saw Shador have a very bad game, and I don't think that's an argument.
You got in a fight.
No, Shiloh got in a fight.
Shiloh got in a fight.
Shiloh got in a fight, got cut. Shador played terribly.
Well, Don, his offensive line was racist.
The idea that quickly is everyone has jumped on.
They're not. I should clarify.
Yeah, they're not. No. But that's the conspiracy theories that are being put out there. Mm-hmm. And there's two big theories that are being promoted. I know Shannon Sharp's talked about it a good amount. ESPN has covered this, the kind of news organization they've become. But the two big theories they're putting out there is either Stefanski purposely called bad plays and put Shador in bad situations and somehow kept his job if he did it intentionally, or that O-line was the issue. They were purposely letting Shador get hit. They were letting that go, and they all got cut.
I think...
So the two conspiracy theories somehow are resulting in opposite job retention.
I think people that come up with theories like this, while it is a lot of fun, that's what we do here.
Yeah.
I think the second you talk to anyone that's coached football or really has been around the game of football would just tell you like, hey, man, it's really hard to look any type of competent running a football organization.
Yes.
It's a miracle that a play ever gains a yard. No one's ever actively trying to give a player a bad situation.
No, not at all. And it showed what Shador was, then the reason he fell, like other than the name brand that he brings.
Yeah.
He was slow at processing, taking a lot of hits, would not get the ball out very quickly.
Dropped back way too far. Take unnecessary sacks.
And it's not like he needs to develop. I don't think that's an issue there. Like if he sat on any other team and like they purposely put him in a situation going, he's going to be back up for a year, we're going to develop him, that's fine. But the idea that so many NFL athletes, so many big names in the media that do this for a living have immediately jumped to, well, it has to be conspiracy against him. Dylan Gabriel's the true backup, is the backup. Shador's 3. It has to be an issue in the organization. I think it's
because Shador was pretty electric in college.
He had the big moments, but do you know also who was really electric in college and struggled when he hit the league?
Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel. And the idea that Toronto Argonauts have the draft, the CFL draft rights for both Sanders brothers. If
I think they're closer. I think he's closer to Johnny Manziel than he is to be an NFL starter.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Johnny Manziel. I do believe he's better than Johnny Manziel.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's most likely where they're going to end up.
I agree with you. I think he needs to be developed, but I've never been a Shedeur Sanders guy. I think he's good. I don't think he's elite by any form.
No, but it's the media circus it invites, and they're inviting themselves.
I would love to see him in San Francisco. I would love to see him in LA with the Rams, or in
they'll
LA.
take time to build around them.
Just around coaches that really love quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota, where I'm kind of getting softer on the whole J.J. McCarthy thing, because I really do believe that if you are a good offensive-minded quarterback-first coach, you will kind of figure out how to do. I think Kevin Stefanski's one of those. Yes, the Browns aren't good, but he's somehow able to make you believe every quarterback he has. You can. I know it's crazy. I think the Browns might sneaky be better than people think now. I'm starting to get on that wave where, I know you're going to take them for a complete loss season.
I'm taking them bad.
I might bet they're over, and I might move the line just because I'm maybe I'm I'm getting blue pilled by Joe Flacco. I'm starting to. I think that's all it was. My bust of the week is the Raiders. Raiders lose Aiden O'Connell and then immediately said, all right, well, let's go get a really reliable backup, someone that, if we have to start him, can start some games. So they went and got Kenny Pickett, the one guy who didn't make the roster cut for the Browns. Pretty much they were going to cut him. So I'm happy the Raiders got him. And then in that fallout, they're like, well, since we got Kenny Pickett, we might as well go get another stud receiver to pair with Kenny Pickett. Let's go get retired Amari Cooper. Which is cool. He hasn't been at camp or working out this entire time, so I'm sure he's going to fit in great. But wait up. The Raiders had another issue because their number one wide receiver, Jacoby Myers, immediately then goes, well, why'd you pick him up? I want to trade now. And now the Raiders, I don't know if you can believe this or not, they're in turmoil.
Well, it's not just the idea that they went and got Cooper. They went and got Amari Cooper and said he's going to be our number one. Yeah,
it was
that is
so
such
disrespectful.
A backhand Jacoby.
It's like cheating on your girlfriend in front of your girlfriend and being like, yeah, she's always been better. I've been with her for months, years even.
It's crazy.
In front of your girlfriend, you're just like, I still like you. We're still going to go hang out later.
The amount of disrespect for Jacoby Myers is insane for that team.
He's a good receiver.
He's a good receiver. I think he is a great number 2. I don't think he's going to struggle. He struggles to be the alpha, but that's okay on the Raiders. You have Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in the perfect wide receiver situation for him, and the team
already. I think he would have had a good year.
I think he would have had a great year.
But we're saying he's not around on the Raiders. He's still on the roster.
I mean, I don't know if he plays because another big issue is he's up for his next big contract that could theoretically take him to retirement right now, and at the end of this season, and he's seeing everyone else go and get big money. And I think that's playing another part of it is, hey, let me go to a team that will pay me next year. You just picked up Amari Cooper. Clearly, you don't see a future for me here. Yeah. Let me go to somewhere where I'm valued and I can get paid.
So my Hall of Famer of the week, which we're going to get into now, is actually getting paid.
Yes.
Shout out to Terry McLaurin. Got his big deal, 3 years, $96 million.
Every dollar.
Well, $32 million a year for a 30-year-old wide receiver is a lot, but he deserved to get paid.
That's a loyalty bonus. That is, I have been grinding for this team through the Dan Snyder era. I have been grinding for this team through all the bad seasons, all the losses, and you finally have a winning team, and I don't want to go anywhere.
I don't know if he's on that team in 3 years.
No, realistically,
I don't think he finishes
no.
This contract.
I don't know if he does. I mean, he's 30. There is the injury potential, but I think that you had to give him this kind of guaranteed money because he's a fan favorite, and they have done really, really terrible when it comes to their fan favorites historically. This keeps goodwill in the city.
He's not the only one that got paid.
No, he's not.
Your boy Trey Hendrickson got paid. He's
back.
For 1 year for $30 million. I thought about it.
Bengals are the worst front office.
I sat there for a minute and I was like, you know what? Good for him.
We're just going to do this again next year. We're going to do this whole dog and pony show again next season.
I do think next year they're like, all right, you're 32. We're good.
He's 31 next year.
Or 31. They'll be like, all right, we're good.
I don't know.
Or one more year of it?
Yeah, I think we're going to another year. He's $14 million guaranteed this season.
I hope
he is the
gets
highest paid DN this season.
They're spending, I think, 75% of the roster on 5 players.
Yes, they really are.
Built great.
Like this worst front office in football.
That's my Hall of Fames of the week. I do have one more, but I'm going to do it after you.
Sure. To me, I'm taking the entire Giants quarterback room for their third preseason game.
They all did great.
Like, you had Jackson Dart, 32 for 47, 372 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions, 52 yards on the ground, and a rushing TD. Jameis went 4 for 7, also threw for a touchdown. Or 4 for 8, my apologies. Tommy Cutlets, 17 for 20, 198, and 3 TDs, no interceptions.
Poor guy got cut, though.
I know. Tommy Cutlets, yeah. Like, he'll pop up somewhere else. He's a decent backup guy to have around. But it was the camaraderie. It was the videos after. It was Jackson Dart feeding Jameis the W. It was all them singing and dancing together. That's what you want
Good
out of
vibes are coming out of New York right now.
And that is something that it's been so long since good vibes have come out of a quarterback room.
They were in the division round 2 years ago.
But it wasn't good vibes at their quarterback position.
Daniel Jones was playing really well that year.
But coming into that season, it was we need to cut Daniel Jones. We need to cut Daniel Jones. He did good, and then the next season we need to cut Daniel Jones.
They signed Daniel Jones,
and then they
cut him.
Yeah.
Like
they are so hot and cold. So just seeing a lot of positive energy come out of multiple players, having fun. I just thought that was just such a refreshing instance for the team.
I like it.
And it literally convinced me. I'm like, I don't want to see Russell Wilson in a Giants jersey. I just want these 3 guys to run the season and just have them have a good time.
I want to see them all play. I'm really excited for the Giants. I think it's going to be fun. There might be a little bit more fun than we think. Last thing I want to talk about is former Ravens running back Jamal Lewis. I informed you this a few hours ago.
Yeah, you did. I thought this was a joke that you were saying.
No,
I know it's real news, but I thought you saying this was going to be a joke.
During a podcast the other day, he informed the show that while he was leading the NFL in rushing, he was also on a strict diet of black and mild cigarettes or cigars, whatever
Cigarellos.
they are. And he would smoke a pack before and after a game, and that's what was fueling him.
That is one of the most old school football things, and it wasn't from the old school.
It's so sick. It's so sick.
You have to ask yourself, would he have been better if he wasn't just
he ran for 2,000 yards on asthma. Yeah, that's what he did.
It's exactly would he have gotten close to 3 if he wasn't destroying his lungs during the season?
No, I don't think he was. I think it was genuinely placeboing him into the best version he can be.
Do you think he did it on a night out after a big win and then he's just got superstitious and I just got to keep it going?
Believe it or not, I think he just likes black and milds.
Probably. I'm reading way too, but it's just such a that man.
Yeah, I think he just like black.
He is such a good player.
Let's get into play ball. We're bringing it back because we're back in the NFL season. College football play ball. We're going to talk about 5 games on the upcoming schedule. We're going to start with the Thursday night must-watch game, the Nebraska versus Cincinnati game. I kind of teased it, talked about it a little bit already. So, Don, I'm going to give it to you.
Sure. For me, I'm taking the under 54.5 in this game. As much as I do like Nebraska to win here, I do like the under. I think there's a better percentage odds there. Biggest keys to this game to me, Cincinnati has a large amount of their offense returning. They didn't really have much turnover on that side of the ball, but that offense only put up 25.2 points per game on last season.
Not a good offense.
Very low scoring, so I don't expect too much out of them. Whereas Nebraska didn't have that many adjustments on their defense. They did add a new 5-star recruit, William Norman. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. I apologize.
Do your best, buddy.
I'm trying.
I'll send it to him.
Missouri.
I'll clip it and I'll DM it to him.
Thank you. Please, correct me. I'd rather be corrected.
Yeah.
But out of Missouri, I think he's a great addition to that defensive line. And they only held teams to 27.5 points last season. So I think this number can, we're seeing a very low scoring offense versus a defense that is able to keep a good cap on how many points are put up against them. On the other side, Nebraska's coming in with a completely new offensive line. None of these guys have ever played a game with each other.
That's the one thing I'm really worried about.
Nebraska. I think it takes a week or two to mesh.
Yeah.
They will get there. And that's why I still think Nebraska over the season will be fine. But you have Cincinnati having a completely returning defensive line. They're one of the top, I believe, 25 D-lines in the country last season versus a brand new O-line.
There are transfers and recruits that are like, good players. And
I'm not saying any of them are bad, but offensive line, you guys got to communicate with just on instinct. You got to know where each other you are.
Week one unders are a known commodity. It takes a while for offense to gel and like really adapt to being hit in the face.
It does. It takes a bit.
I do think Nebraska's going to win this. My pick is Nebraska to cover the 6.5 spread that they have. But I think you're right about this under. I'm going to take this under as well.
Raiola does worry me a little bit at quarterback for Nebraska as well.
You don't think he's... Well,
I think
that makes sense
he has a lot of flashes, and I think the potential is there. I think coming into his second season,
if you had to
he
compare
will
his
take a step
potential
up.
for anyone, who would it be? Just say. He dresses like Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah, I know.
Same haircut,
same
ritual, same armbands, everything.
I think he'll try to pick it up a little bit, but I think the 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last season, and he's gone 2 interceptions versus against tougher schools who can make playoff runs, and he has very limited mobility. That worries me with a very shaky offensive line situation.
Yeah.
I think they'll get it done, but I just don't think a lot of points are put up by other teams.
I think the game's a little more like 24-14 type of vibe.
That feels right.
I think it's a little bit more of a boring game.
That feels very good.
Next game we're going to talk about is Texas versus Ohio State. The big game, the big showdown on Saturday morning. The number 1, the number 2 team playing against each other. Don, I thought about this game, and I'll probably still change it. I'll be honest. I'm kind of fluid with it. I'm right now in this moment, I'm leaning Ohio State to win and cover. Because it's at home, that's the only reason. I really want to take Texas. Really want to take Texas. But you know what I want to take more than any of them? The under.
I'm right there with you.
I love the under.
The under 47.5 feels really, really good.
Why?
I mean, both teams were just completely dominant in 2024. Like last season, we know that.
Yeah.
They're very strong teams. To me, there's not a lot that has shifted on either roster. You still have the Ohio State being like one of the best defensive teams in the league.
They lost a lot of defensive linemen. Jack Sawyer and JT Talumalea are both off the roster. I think they lost all 4 starting defensive linemen. But Caleb Downs, Josh Downs' younger brother, is the best defensive player in all of college football. Yep. He's a safety. He's a dynamic ball hawk. It's Ohio State. I'm sure they don't rebuild, they reload. That's their whole saying.
Exactly.
Same thing with Texas. They can lose all these 5-star athletes. Guess what? They replace them with a bunch of others.
And they were number 1 and number 3 in total team defense last season. So I think they're just going to smother each other. It's going to be just a slugfest.
I think at halftime we're looking at like a 13-10 type score, and then it's going to get sweaty. I'm not saying this is going to be like a super fun under to take.
No.
In fact, if it goes any more under, I'm not going to take it.
No, because if either team makes a small mistake on defense, they're going to get blown up for it.
Yeah. I just think both offenses are going to be too conservative. They're going to take their shots, but I think they're going to be conservative and wait for the other teams to make the mistakes.
Especially in week 1. Where,
correct.
Like we talked about, offenses take a bit to get moving.
I see this game finishing like a 20-17 Ohio State to cover right now.
Sure.
Yeah. The 2.5.
Not against it.
Let's go into Alabama versus Florida State. Alabama coming off of a semi-disappointing season in the first year with their new head coach. And Florida State coming off the number 1 most disappointing season, coming off of an undefeated season the year prior. Now they're coming in. Both rosters kind of retooled, re-ready. Alabama, new starting quarterback who's been there for a long time, but has not really played. Ty Simpson, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. I don't love this Alabama team. I know they're Alabama.
Yeah, they don't have that same identity as like in the past.
It's Nick Saban.
Yeah, Saban brought a certain amount of clout to the team.
But I also really don't like this Florida State team.
That's why I'm taking Bama for the spread here.
Gotcha.
13.5, I think, was the most recent I've seen. Bama's on a 23-game opening week win streak at the moment.
Oh, 23 straight?
23 straight week 1 wins. Second longest active streak in the country right now. They are 63-1 in regular season non-conference games since 2008.
You're willing to lay the 13.5?
I'm willing to lay the 13.5 on this team. FSU, they were one of the worst offenses last season. Like, they just struggled to run the ball. Like, we talked about,
their
extremely disappointing.
They were bad.
They also had Bama has a top 10 scoring defense currently, which I think kind of smothers them. Florida has covered all three, or they're 1-6 against the spread for top 7 teams in the SEC last season.
Yeah, they're not good against the SEC.
They are not good against the SEC whatsoever. I think that you just have a dominant Bama defense. Florida's coming off a disappointing season, and I think Bama knows how to get ready for a week 1 better than almost anybody else.
I have the under in this game, 51.5. It was a big number for me. I know it's college football, and they can hit 51 in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But I sit with you on that. That Bama defense is real. I think they're going to be leaning on that defense to win a lot of games. And I think that Florida offense, while I do think it's going to be improved, I don't think it's going to be anything impressive. This is a score I'm willing to take all the way to 48.5
Sure.
if the under gets to that point. But anything less than that, I wouldn't take.
You would take it. What is it currently?
51.5.
51.5. So
I would take the
that's
under
a
right now.
4-point movement. That's a massive
I'm
shift.
probably going to shift it down anyway.
No, just take the plus odds, definitely.
But like I
Ladder
like
bet
it where it's at 51.5.
Feels
But
good.
yeah, I'll probably ladder it. I love laddering in week 1 because what you're really doing is you're betting on coaching.
Yes.
And like taking spreads and being like, I do believe in this team. Let me
Turn it up a little bit.
let me add a little juice on this thing.
Yeah, feels good.
Another game we're going to talk about. I think it's the biggest game of the weekend. I know most people would say it's Ohio State, Texas, LSU, Clemson.
This is going to be a fun one.
Whoever wins this gets to own the Tiger. Like, this is the battle for the logo. They both have the same stadium name, Death Valley.
Yeah.
This is a very important game. It's in Clemson. I picked Cade Klubnik to win the Heisman. LSU has lost 4 straight home openers, or 5 straight.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
4, I think it's 4.
Last year was to USC, and that was not a good USC team. But Brian Kelly is retooled. Garrett Musspire, whatever. The LSU's quarterback is supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah. He had 4,000 passing yards last season, 29 touchdowns. I'm liking LSU to cover the spread here.
I also have LSU plus 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, plus 3. He moved up to 4 at one point today, depending on what book you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it at 4. The number I wouldn't take it as 2.5. I like the insurance that I get at 3.5.
It feels good to have it there for the field goal. I do think Dabo Swinney has struggled against SEC teams historically. They went 1-6 against the spread against SEC opponents last season. I think Clemson can get the win done. I don't really like the money line.
I don't like the money line either.
3.5 to 4 feels very, very doable.
So if it gets to 2.5, staying away, or would you buy that point?
I'm just staying away.
Okay.
At that point, 2.5, because then you're just pushing if you're buying the point.
Okay. Last game we're going to talk about is Notre Dame versus Miami. This is the Sunday game on week 1. Week 1, we always get a Sunday game. This is a huge game. Notre Dame went to the national championship last year.
Yeah.
Miami, outside of the playoffs, but it's Miami. They have a lot of hype every single year. This game is in Miami. Notre Dame has no problem playing every single person in front of their path. It's a really good Notre Dame game.
Yes.
Freeman's one of the top 5 head coaches in all of college football right now. I love Miami plus money right now.
You and I this is our first big disagreement, I think.
Really? Well, you're a Notre Dame guy.
I like Notre Dame here a little bit more. I feel Notre Dame, this game means more to them.
See, you're a big CJ Carr guy?
I'm not saying I'm a big CJ Carr guy. I just think Notre Dame is going to.
Derek Carr's younger cousin?
I think it's cousin.
Nephew. Derek Carr's son. No.
I'm just going to let you struggle with this
Something
one. Have fun.
called. What's his brother? Whatever. It's
The
his
Texans.
nephew.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. CJ Carr? No.
No, but
CJ Carr's not. Yeah.
Notre Dame, I think, just cannot afford to lose a lot of games this season. Being an independent team, they're kind of fighting for one of those outside spots. Miami and the SEC can afford to lose 1 or 2 if they are going to try to make a playoff push. So I think Notre Dame's going to come in a little bit hotter due to that. And Miami having that extra game could kind of have some wiggle room. Notre Dame historically 17-8-1 against Miami. They kind of have Miami's number most of the time. And also Notre Dame does enter like number 6. Like, they are seen as that powerhouse team. They did make a good run last season.
They're a good
I
team.
like their defense a lot. Like they're able to put together a very strong defensive outing against these top teams.
I agree with you. I think Notre Dame probably is going to win this game. The only thing that gets to me is it's in Miami.
Yes.
That heat.
It will get to them 100%.
Miami in August
is gross
compared to Indiana, northern Indiana in August. They're two different worlds.
Yeah,
we're talking about
the humidity difference is insane.
Conditioning is going to be a whole different game, and I think I'm not saying Miami's the most well-conditioned team. I just think that they have that advantage, and in a game split that's so tight, I will take the home field. I will take it at plus 120.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think my big thing is when does Notre Dame get down there? Because it is a week one. They do have
probably a day before.
I
probably show up Friday.
I would hope that they're showing up Wednesday, Thursday.
No,
give them an extra day to acclimate.
They're in school, buddy. They're one of the schools that actually have to do school.
That's true. They actually do focus on it, but it's week. What you could kind of figure something out sometimes.
Not really.
Well, with the online stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could get down there a day early.
Yeah, I'm sure those guys are really gonna be stressing out on their bubbles midterm. Intro to bubbles.
I'm not going to that extent at all.
All right, let's get into question of the day. Question of the day, I cheated, Don. I gave you the prompt that we were going to do today. My question of the day to you is, what is the fantasy football player that you always end up with in a lot of these drafts? The guy that at the end of, doing a couple of these leagues, a couple of these redrafts, or guys that you're continuously just targeting that always seem to just end up on your team. You're like, I guess I got a bunch of, for me, it's DJ Moore. I've drafted a lot of DJ Moore in my life. Who's your guy this year?
I kind of have two big ones right now. Mm-hmm. In my draft so far, I've been able to draft for 4 of my leagues out of the 7 I'm in this season. Lamar keeps falling to me at the end of the 3rd, and if he's sitting there, I kind of just grab him because he is QB1 last season. He has potential to always run it back again. I think Bateman takes a step up. Tez Walker has looked good in preseason.
I agree with everything. I don't believe in the Tez Walker thing.
I'm not saying he's going to be great. I'm just saying he looks much improved compared to his rookie year. It's just one extra weapon.
Non-existent
rookie year because he was battling injury for quite a lot of it.
I agree with you with the Lamar. There was in our league of record, I was right behind you when you selected Lamar, and I'm telling you, he was so queued up for me. It was so sad to watch him go. I tried to trade up to take him from you.
No, I know you did. I was very grateful it didn't go through.
Yeah.
I went some later round guys because I'm liking to try to find some value here and there. The big one I've been taking is Josh Downs in a lot of drafts right now.
Right now, going like the 6th, 7th area, PPR.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Downs.
He's been falling into the 8th, 9th in like 2 of my leagues so far. He is 17% of he's 17th in target share, getting 17% of all targets for the Colts. Right behind Brian Thomas, T. Higgins, and Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton, right into that range of those kind of alpha guys. He's 8th in total team reception percentage. He's gotten 28.8% of all the catches the Colts had last season. So top 10. And he's also had the 1/3 of the team's total receiving touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
He's putting up these alpha numbers.
How many receiving touchdowns did that offensive have?
It was limited. I'm not
14.
Yeah, it was limited. I'm not trying to say that, but I think we do see a big shift in the quarterback play from AR to Daniel Jones this season.
I think, maybe, yeah. I'll say yes.
Big thing for Daniel Jones. I think that
hyper targets his receivers.
Not just that, but we see an increase in passing yards. Daniel Jones had 300 last season. They played 10 games for Daniel Jones, 11 games for AR. So we could kind of get a good side-by-side metric in like their terms of their production. Completions almost double Daniel Jones, 216 to AR's 126. 80 more passes just attempted overall for Daniel Jones. 200 more passing yards. 2,070 to 1,800. Also threw for less interceptions, 7 interceptions for Jones, 12 for AR, and the same amount of touchdowns. Richardson also had a lot less sacks. He had only 14 sacks, whereas Daniel Jones got sacked 29 times.
Yeah.
And AR had double the scramble rate of Daniel Jones, 7.03% to Jones's 3.9%.
Yeah.
all this is kind of to say is we know that Daniel Jones is going to be more accurate throwing the ball. We know that with Daniel Jones, he's going to throw the ball more because he doesn't run as much.
He
doesn't. Yeah, just AR runs a lot more. He was so rusty. He relied on his legs a lot. Jones doesn't run the ball as much. Is not as efficient runner by any means. Jones is in a situation where he's going to get hit less than he did on the Giants last year.
100%. He has more weapons.
He has more weapons, and I'm targeting. We're seeing this increase in overall more passing yards, more of that pie to go after.
Yeah.
The alpha on the team based on based on advanced metrics shows that Josh Downs is consistently in advanced metrics a top 20 receiver.
Yeah.
Currently, he is being drafted as a wide receiver 50, according to ESPN right now.
I think he beats that metric.
And that's where I'm targeting. Right now, he is just slightly ahead of Jahan Dotson on the Eagles.
No, he's going way higher than that.
He's going wide receiver 50. Jahan Dotson on the Eagles is wide receiver 58.
What?
Yeah. People are drafting Dotson around there. Wan'Dale Robinson's in that area. And Elfton Chisholm on the Patriots are all within 5 to 10 picks of Josh Downs. It isn't. ESPN numbers are bad. Yahoo has him buried. They have Michael Pittman going high. They have Alec Pierce going near him.
I have on Sleeper, it's Josh Downs and Jaden Reed, Michael Pittman, Jalen Higgins, Keon Coleman, Brandon Ayuk.
Sleeper is one of the Sleeper's
up. Yeah, ESPN has him around.
ESPN's ADP is terrible. Yahoo's ESP is terrible. Underdog's ADP is terrible. Sleeper's the only one that's showing him any level of respect, I feel, out of all the platforms currently.
Yeah.
And if you can get a guy in the 9th, 10th round who is being talked about in metrics next to Nico Collins.
He's not. I'm not trying to say fan.
I'm not trying to say that he is going to produce like Nico Collins.
I don't think he leads the team in receiving yards. I don't think he's the receiver that leads the team in receiving yards.
For 2 seasons, he has been the alpha.
No.
Or last season especially.
His rookie year, he got hurt, and he was hurt.
But in his span, he would
the 2 games. Yeah, he was really good in 2 games.
Yes.
Michael Pittman just got paid.
Yep.
Daniel Jones has expressed how much his connection with Michael Pittman is going to be. They both complement each other very well.
Yeah. I think Pittman's going to just shift to a wide receiver 2 at this point.
I don't think Josh Downs is I think he's talented enough to be a wide receiver 1. I don't think the Colts' passing ability has any favor to give anyone a wide receiver 1.
I'm not saying he's going to be a top 12 receiver.
I don't think he's a top 30 receiver.
I think he can definitely crack top 30.
I think he can. I don't think he is. I definitively don't think he's a top 30 receiver.
I would love to place that bet with you.
Let's make a bet.
Yeah.
Let's make a bet.
I would love that.
We'll iron it out.
We'll iron it out. But I think he can. He finished wide receiver.
I don't want to bet that because that's betting against my own team, and I don't want to do that.
He finished wide receiver 40 last year with AR throwing to him.
Yeah, I think he finishes 32.
I think Daniel Jones having that percentage of increase.
You think Daniel Jones plays every game?
I think he plays majority of them, yeah. Because
That's not what I said.
I think Daniel Jones going for 16 games can move Josh Downs into a top 30 receiver.
I don't think Daniel Jones plays. I think he plays like 12. AR gets 6. I think we're going to get a nasty split. I think we're going to see some Riley Leonard probably. I hope not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, for the sake of the Colts, I pray not. But not even for the Josh Downs.
This is what this is what it's starting to feel like as a Colts fan. That's just what I'm letting you know. For me, this is before the preseason even started. Rookie Ohio State running back Henderson on the New England Patriots. TreVeyon Henderson has been my guy. I took him in a dynasty round over Amarian Hampton, over R.J. Harvey, over all the other over Tet McMillan. I think he's a star. I think he's the most talented running back in this draft over Ashton Genty, and I would have taken him over Ashton Genty if I had the 1-1. I think he is a star, and he's a guy I'm targeting in every single league. The only league I don't have him in is the league that matters the most, and I've tried heaven and earth to come and get him. And Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is my number 1 steal. Do I think Javonte Williams is going to be good? No, I don't.
No.
But what I do know Javonte Williams is going to be is exactly what you had Dowdle last year. And I doubted you with Dowdle. I was so wrong about how you were right about Dowdle. he's going to finish in that 22 running back metric, that 22 to 24, where he's that RB2. You can plug him in. It's nasty. He's going to get you 40 yards on the ground and another 30 receiving yards. He's going to have 5 catches, and if he falls in the end zone, he gets you 18 points. And it's going to be great when he does. It's going to suck when he doesn't. It's going to be a fun flex. Javonte Williams is in every league I'm in.
Nice. My last one is a guy I'm just picking up at the very last pick of the draft. He's sitting on waivers in most leagues. Is Mason Taylor for the Jets, rookie tight end. And I know that is a disgusting name to throw out there because
first round pick.
He was early second. He was projected he was projected late first, early second. Jets ended up getting him in the late second. For me, I think it's mainly like the other draft capital coming in for a rookie, but it's a lot of the opportunity that is presented in front of him. He's only competing with Jeremy Rucker and Stone Smart for the leading tight end role. He already has the number 1 spot according to every depth chart from the minute he was drafted. From the first unofficial depth chart, Jets immediately put him as the number 1, and he has yet to move out of that position.
He's a talented guy.
He is very talented. He just doesn't have that dog to kind of run through a guy. He is kind of
he's not that kind of tight end. He's not a blocking tight end either, so he's going to be out on those plays.
Exactly.
He's more of like I know this is going to be a really sad comparison, but Kyler Granson, he reminds me of more like this flexy wide receiver hybrid type player.
And that's kind of what is needed, I think, for this Jets
100%.
offense.
Alan Lazard.
They have the 3rd most vacated targets in the NFL.
Yeah.
Losing Tyler Conklin, who was their tight end, which kind of shared that check down role, and Devontae Adams. They have 36% of all their targets from last season are vacated. Yeah. And those are up for grabs now. And a lot of people go, well, they have Wilson. Like, he's going to take up a lot of those. He was already 4th in targets last year and 5th in receptions. He doesn't have a lot of room to move up.
There's not a lot of like room for growth for Wilson. You're kind
not at all.
Even I own Wilson in the league. It's not that it's bad. It's just Justin Fields likes to target one receiver.
Justin Fields likes to target one receiver. He also does target the tight end a lot.
He does.
In the last 2 years, he has led all quarterbacks in checkdown rate. 15.5% of all his passes have gone to checkdowns. Last year, the Steelers did see that number drop a little bit. It was at a high of 17 in his last season with the Bears. He also is one of the highest targeting quarterbacks to tight ends in the NFL. In Pittsburgh, he targeted mainly Freiermuth for 24.5%.
George Pickens was a top 15 receiver in fantasy football, while Justin Fields was his quarterback.
He can't sustain both.
And DJ Moore was the number 6 wide receiver when he was his quarterback.
And Cole Kmet in his last season of the Bears was hit with 24% of the entire targets for the team. Like, Fields likes to get one receiver, one tight end.
That's it.
He likes to hand the ball off and run the ball himself.
That's it.
That's all he can do. But he has gotten, I saw last year with the Steelers, market improvement with his accuracy.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Compared to what he was showing on the Bears, I'm not saying he's a great passer.
They're saying in camp there was days where he was completing barely over 30% of his passes.
It might have just been whatever Mike Tomlin was dialing up, honestly. But at least from what I saw last season on the Steelers, he looked markedly improved for what he had on the Bears. I think that Mason Taylor, just on opportunity alone, will realistically get at least 18% of the entire targets for that offense.
Where do you see Mason Taylor finishing in fantasy football this year? Do you see him finishing above or lower than Travis Kelce's fantasy football finish?
I want to see what this Jets offense week 1 will do, because I just don't know what their ceiling is right now or what their floor is.
They are running the same offense as the Detroit Lions. They brought in a coordinator, I think the quarterback's coach from the Detroit Lions, or the wide receivers coach, to be their offensive coordinator. They're running a lot of schemes like that. They love to attack the middle of the field just like the Detroit Lions do.
Yeah, where Taylor will be great. I think the Braylon Allen, Breece Hall 1-2 will be fun.
A lot of deep in-breaking routes for the wide receivers, which you're going to need kind of an accurate quarterback and early reads to make those throws, and a lot of running the ball. Apparently, they're going to have the highest efficiency in running the ball. I
mean, I don't doubt it. Braylon Allen's, I think, a solid running back. That's when they went and drafted him. They're keeping Breece, and they paid him.
They're not going to pay him.
They
came out and they said they're not paying him.
I know, but I think they're going to sign and trade him at some point.
Okay.
Because Breece is very valuable. Fields is a very athletic runner himself. I think they lead the league in probably rushing attempts overall between the three of them.
Over Baltimore?
I think over Baltimore. Because I think Baltimore takes a step back with how many carries we give Derrick Henry to save him for playoffs mainly. But
Mitchell.
I do. Yeah, we have Keaton Mitchell. He's a little banged up. Justice Hill did step up last year, but
I hate Justice Hill.
I know you do.
Justice Hill is nasty. Every time you see him, you're like, this guy. I get what he does. He runs straight into a guard and falls right over. I guess that's valuable sometimes.
He looks jacked, by the way.
He always looks jacked. No, I'm tired of it.
He looks cut.
I want a guy that can break like more than a 7-yard run sometimes. That's all I want.
That's all you need sometimes. If you can consistently get 7, it's great. But no, I think Mason Taylor's set up to be sneaky. For an undrafted player, just throw him on the back of your bench. He's free right now. See what happens in week 1. You could cut him if it doesn't work out, but it's at least a free player that you have upside that if he can get that many targets, he could be a top 10 tight end.
I love that. Let's go into pick of the week before we end the show. Pick of the week. I have Georgia Tech to cover -4.5 versus Colorado. Deion Sanders is not the head coach of Colorado. A lot of people don't know this, but he took a leave of absence from the team in the middle of spring ball, or actually middle of June, for health reasons. I hope he's all good. Yeah. I think this Colorado team is kind of bad. I think they've always been bad. I've kind of been a hater of the Colorado experience, and I think Georgia Tech is really good. They got a great quarterback in Haynes King. They return a lot of their players. I think they're going to be a sneaky good team in the ACC. I think I have them like 8-4, so that's a good record for them. And I think it starts here. I think they're going to cover the 4.5, and I'm willing to move it all the way up to 6.5.
No, that sounds good. For me, I'm taking UCLA plus 6.5 against Utah. They played in
Friday night games.
Me and you. Former Pac-12 rivalry. They did play in 2002, where the Bruins did get a 10-point win against Utah. I know things have changed since then, but UCLA does perform well in these instances. And people forget they went 4-2 to end last season. They finally were figuring things out a little bit more. The offense started clicking a little bit better, and they landed Tennessee quarterback Nico
Iamaleava.
Thank you.
Iamaleava, yeah.
And so they did kind of end things on a high note. Nico did really good with the Vols, 13 total touchdowns to 1 interception in his last 6. I think UCLA's offense does see a big spark because of that. Utah went 5-7, their first losing season since 2013, and they're bringing back Devon Dampnier, who had one of the most interceptions in last season. He threw for 12 picks. He, as a New Mexico transfer, he's 0-2 in his career versus Power 4 programs. Like, this guy struggles against a lot of the bigger schools. He makes a lot of mistakes. I think UCLA is being doubted way too much in this one.
My only fear in this game is it's in Utah.
It is in Utah.
And that's its own beast. That home field advantage is unlike a lot in college football. It's in the mountains. It's high elevation. And Utah is a tough place to go and play. They really care about football over there in Utah. But I like Nico, and I think this UCLA team will win this game.
Yeah. You think they'll win or they'll cover?
I think they could win. I think they can win.
Okay, I'll take their money line as well. I was taking their spread, but I like the money line too.
What's their spread right now?
6.5.
Yeah, I think they can win.
Yeah,
I think they can win.
Feels good.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Bust Picks, whether it was episode 72 or 73. Thank you for listening. My name is Dio. That is Don. And remember, pray for the parlay.